I stared at the flickering neon sign outside my window at the Desert Rose Motel in Tucson, Arizona. It was 11:47 p.m., and the desert chill seeped through the thin walls, making me pull my worn flannel shirt tighter. 3 weeks I'd been holed up here, scraping by on $45 a night, the kind of place where dreams went to die under the relentless sun. My supper? A handful of saltines and a wilted pear from the discount bin at the corner store. Payday was Friday, 4 endless days away. Everything I owned crammed into 2 duffel bags, one with faded jeans and t-shirts, the other with a couple of paperbacks, some old receipts, and a photo album that haunted me like a bad debt. Flipping through it would slice right through my heart, but tossing it felt like erasing the only proof I'd ever mattered. Why me? The question looped in my mind like a broken record. I'd given it all, my home with the cactus garden I'd dreamed of expanding, my reliable old Ford that I'd sold for peanuts. Even the gold band Jake had slid on my finger 7 years back, vowing forever in that dusty chapel. Pawned it for $750, thinking every dollar bought him one more shot at beating the odds. $350,000, that's what his life cost me. And when he clawed back from the brink, cancer in remission like some miracle, he repaid me by serving papers. Took half of our print shop, the life we'd scratched out together in the Southwest heat. Walked off with a new woman, leaving me shattered, questioning if love was just a sucker's bet. The knock jolted me like a rattlesnake strike, 3 sharp raps, urgent and uninvited. My pulse hammered. Who the hell knew I was here? Mom thought I was crashing with a buddy in Phoenix. Old pals had faded away after too many rain checks. Midnight visitors at a Fleabag motel? That screamed trouble. I froze, breath shallow, as the knocks came again, insistent. Peering through the peephole, I saw her, mid-20s, blonde hair in a messy bun, dressed sharp in bootcut jeans and a leather jacket that screamed city money. She kept glancing back, like shadows were chasing her. Who is it? My voice cracked, thin as desert air. Sarah Thompson, she rushed out, edgy. I need to talk about Jake Harlan. Please, it's crucial. I know what he pulled on you.
Jake.
The name hit like a gut punch. How did she track me down? What did she know? What do you want? Her words tumbled fast. I'm not here to mess with you. I can help. He screwed us both over. Us both. That word unlocked something raw inside me, a flicker of curiosity amid the fear. Against every screaming instinct, I unchained the door. She stepped in, eyes red-rimmed, gripping a thick envelope like a lifeline. I'm sorry for the late drop-in, she said, voice breaking. But you gotta see this. The truth about him, it's all lies. What truth? I whispered, sinking onto the bed's edge. She exhaled shakily. Everything. Let me start from my end, so you get why I'm here risking it all. But to understand the storm that brought her to my door, I have to rewind. 7 years back, I was Emily Grant, 25, hustling as a graphic designer at a mom-and-pop ad firm in Albuquerque, pulling $38,000 a year. Nothing flashy, but I loved crafting visuals that popped under those wide western skies. My apartment was a shoebox with a balcony overlooking the Sandia Mountains, where I'd sip coffee and sketch ideas. Life felt open, full of potential, no baggage. Just me charting my course. I met Jake at a Chamber of Commerce mixer in Santa Fe one crisp April evening. Wasn't keen on going. Networking felt like herding cats, but my boss nudged me. There he was by the snack table, tall with that easy cowboy charm, flashing a grin that lit up his eyes. These chips are drier than the Mojave, he joked, crunching one. But hey, beats standing around awkward. I chuckled, and just like that, we clicked. He sold equipment for a local print supplier. I designed logos. Conversation flowed like the Rio Grande after rain. By night's end, he asked, dinner sometime? Somewhere with actual flavor. Our first date was at a cozy Tex-Mex joint, enchiladas and margaritas under string lights. Jake was all manners, pulling out my chair, asking about my dreams, really listening. He shared his ambition to strike out on his own, eyes sparkling like stars over the desert. I wanted in on that fire. We dated a year, hikes in the canyons, surprise road trips to the Grand Canyon, notes tucked in my glove box. Mom, Linda, met him early on and whispered, he's solid gold.
Eminência.
Hang on tight. No plans to let go. He proposed at sunset on a bluff overlooking the painted desert, down on one knee with a simple solitaire that caught the dying light. Yes, burst out before he finished. We tied the knot 6 months later in a small ceremony at Mom's Baptist Church in Tucson, boots and sundresses. Nothing ritzy. Saving for the future. When Jake vowed in sickness and health, for better or worse, I felt it in my bones. Post-honeymoon, Jake pitched the big idea over tacos one night. What if we go all in? Start our own print shop. I've got the sales chops, you're a design wizard. Partners in crime and life. Risky as hell loans. Long hours. No safety net. But his confidence was infectious. We'll build an empire.
Eminência.
Our rules. Our sweat.
Idovein.
Harlan Print Works launched with a SBA loan and our nest egg. First year? Brutal. 14-hour grinds.
PBG dîner.
Crashing on an air mattress after selling furniture for supplies. But we hustled, landed clients. Expanded. By year 5, we thrived, a ranch-style house in the suburbs with a view of the saguaros. My trusty pickup. Talks of kids and a rescue dog. Life was golden. On our anniversary, back at that Tex-Mex spot, we toasted. To us. Forever, Jake said, gaze locked on mine. I echoed it, heartful. Little did I know, forever had an expiration date. It began with fatigue. Jake dragging after work, nodding off mid-conversation. Just the heat, he'd brush off. Then weight loss, pants sagging, cheeks hollow. Night sweats soaked the sheets. Doc time, I insisted after a rough spell. He grumbled, but went. The waiting room felt eternal, old magazines. My mind wandering. Then the call back. Doctor's grave tone. Tests piled up, labs, scans. Diagnosis hit like a flash flood, stage 3 lymphoma. Aggressive. Nodes involved. We fight, I declared as Jake crumbled in the truck. Whatever it takes. Treatment, chemo rounds, radiation blasts, maybe surgery. Insurance covered basics, but copays. Out-of-pocket maxed at $20,000 yearly. Experimental drugs denied. Total, north of $300,000. Easy. We had scraps and savings. No choice, refinance the house. Sell my truck for $4,000 cash. Pawn the ring. Mom chipped in from her pension. God bless her. I refused at first, but desperation won. As Jake withered, hair gone, skin ashen, puking endlessly, I juggled the shop, battled insurers, sold heirlooms. Exhaustion clawed at me, but doubt, never. This was love, raw, unrelenting. We'll rebuild, I'd whisper, holding his frail hand.
Inside. Though.
Fear whispered, what if it's not enough? What if I fail him? The treatments dragged on like an endless drought, each day a battle against the invisible enemy ravaging Jake's body. I'd drive him to the oncology center in Phoenix, the sun baking the asphalt as we navigated traffic, his head lolling against the window. Inside me, a storm raged, guilt for every moment I felt overwhelmed, terror that one more bill would break us. Why us? I'd rage silently during those solo drives back, fists clenched on the wheel. I gave up my dreams for this life with him. Now it's slipping away. But I pushed it down, focused on survival. The shop became my second war zone. With Jake sidelined, I pulled double shifts, designing flyers for local ranches while cold calling clients to keep cash flowing. Bills arrived like vultures. $6,000 for a chemo session, $9,000 for scans. Insurance fought every claim, experimental, they'd stamp, denying thousands. I appealed endlessly, phone glued to my ear during lunch breaks. This is my husband's life, I'd plead, voice cracking. Inside, resentment flickered. How could a system designed to help feel so cruel? But blame the world. And what? Lose Jake? No, I doubled down. Sold the house next. Our cozy rancher, with its wraparound porch where we'd sip iced tea watching sunsets, fetched enough after fees to cover 3 months of radiation. We downsized to a cramped apartment in the outskirts, walls thin as paper, neighbors blasting country music till dawn. My inner voice screamed, "This isn't fair. You built this home together. Now it's gone because he needs you." But love silenced it. It's just stuff, I'd tell myself, packing boxes alone while Jake rested. Then my truck, reliable as an old friend, hauled our gear on weekend getaways. Sold to a stranger for quick cash. I switched to buses, trudging through dust storms with a backpack of files. Humiliating, but necessary. The pawn shop was worse, sliding off my wedding band, the cool metal heavy with memories of our vows under that vast Arizona sky. Best offer, $750, the guy grunted. I took it, tears burning, thinking, this buys one more infusion, one more chance. Inside, a crack formed. Am I erasing us? But no. This was saving us. Mom's calls kept me grounded. You're stronger than you know. She'd say from her trailer in Yuma. She wired what she could from her fixed income, ignoring my protests. Family sticks, she'd insist. Guilt gnawed. She's sacrificing too, because I chose this man. Nights, alone in the apartment while Jake slept fitfully, I'd curl up, mind racing. What if he doesn't make it? What if all this pain is for nothing? The weight pressed. But dawn brought resolve. Fight on. 10 months in, miracles stirred. Jake's color returned, like rain reviving parched earth. He ate without retching, walked without wobbling. Scans showed shrinkage, remission whispered, then declared. I collapsed in the clinic bathroom, sobs of joy echoing. Every sacrifice validated. We'd rebuild, stronger, unbreakable. But Jake changed. Subtle at first. More glued to his phone. Secretive smiles at texts. Work, he'd mutter, angling the screen away. He'd primp new shirts despite our debt pile, while I rotated thrift store finds. Looking sharp's good for business, he'd say. Inside, unease brewed. Is this recovery? Or something else? I shoved it aside. Trauma lingers. Right? Then the bombshell. Over frozen dinners in our dingy kitchen. He dropped it. I want out. Eminencia. Deserve a fresh start, a real partner now. His eyes cold. No trace of the man I'd saved. Stunned, I whispered, After everything? He shrugged. Cancer changed me.
You.
You're worn out. Betrayal hit like a scorpion sting, deep, venomous. He'd been planning this? While I sold my soul to keep him breathing. Papers arrived via courier. Divorce. Citing irreconcilable differences. He wanted half the shop. Half her scraps. My mind reeled. How could he? I loved you enough to lose everything. Now you discard me? Mom raged on the phone. That snake. After you poured your heart out. But law was law. In Arizona courts, community property ruled. No mercy for sacrifices. His lawyer, Slick Michael Hayes, painted me as the emotional wreck, downplaying my role in the business. She handled designs, he built the client base. I fought, showing ledgers of funds I'd funneled for his care. But Hayes twisted, voluntary gifts in marriage, no coercion. The judge sympathized, eyes soft, but ruled straight, split assets. The shop's value, bloated by hidden debts I'd shouldered, left my share at $15,000 after buyout. Jake kept operations.
Client.
Future. I got crumbs and a shattered spirit. Post-divorce. The fall accelerated. Saw them once, Jake and his new flame, at a diner in Flagstaff. Her, young, polished, laughing at his jokes. Hand on his. Him beaming, alive, unburdened. I fled. Bus ride home a blur of tears. Inside, I gave you life. Now you thrive on my ruins? Depression cloaked me, heavy, suffocating. Mornings, bed chained me. Work calls went too sick. Friends drifted. Shame silenced me. Eviction sealed it. Landlord flipping units. Bad credit barred new places. Enter Desert Rose, cash only. No questions.
Temporary.
I lied to myself. But weeks blurred. Crackers my staple. Ceiling stains my view. Hollowed out. I'd ponder. Was my love a fool's errand? Did I deserve this for trusting too deep? Then the knock, Sarah. Envelope in hand. He lied to us both, she said, voice trembling. My inner storm intensified. Another victim? Or my salvation? Sarah's words hung in the motel air like smoke from a wildfire, thick and choking. He played us, she said, perching on my bed's frayed quilt, envelope trembling in her grip. My mind screamed, why believe her? But desperation whispered, what if she's the key to unraveling this nightmare? Inside, rage and hope collided, years of buried pain surfacing, demanding reckoning. She spilled her story fast, like confessing a sin. Dated him 8 months after your split. He spun tales, you were unstable. Sabotaged the business out of spite. I bought it. Hook,
Line.
and sinker. Charming at first, weekend drives through the canyons. Flowers from roadside stands. But cracks showed, lies about late nights. Snapping at questions. Made me doubt myself. Like I was the problem. Echoes of my hell. He'd critique everything, she continued. My job as a realtor. My style, said I was too high maintenance. Dumped me 2 weeks back for some gym buddy. Called me clingy. Said he deserved better. Better, I echoed bitterly. His favorite line. Her eyes met mine.
Fierce.
Furious. I dug. Friend in billing pulled strings, his records. Emily. It's fraud. All of it. Papers spilled out. Insurance docs. Bank slips. My hands shook scanning them. His policy capped out of pocket at $20,000 after. Full coverage. But he'd picked pricey out-of-network docs deliberately. Then claimed reimbursements secretly. Deposits to a hidden account, $12K. $18,000. while I pawned my life away. The shop loans? Diverted. Insurance checks? Pocketed. Sarah pointed. Over $100,000 stashed. Undisclosed in divorce. Betrayal deepened. A chasm swallowing me. He'd watched me crumble, bus rides in monsoons. Mom's drained savings. My spirit fractured, and hoarded cash? Inside. Fury erupted. You bastard. I emptied myself for you. And you built a parachute? Tears burned. Not sorrow.
But wrath.
Why help me? I demanded. Because he's poison, she spat. Ruined you. Nearly me. This stops him. My lawyer pal says with this. Reopen the case, fraud void settlements. Hope ignited amid the inferno, a path forward. But doubt clawed. Can I face him again? Relive the humiliation? Yet resolve hardened. No more victim. What now?
Vi plottet till dawn.
My mind a whirlwind of vengeance and vindication. Sarah connected me to her attorney, Laura Benson, a bulldog in fraud law. In her Phoenix office, amid towering files, Laura eyed the evidence. Gold mine, she grinned. Hidden assets? Court, contempt. Insurance scams? Criminal.
No upfront fees, contingency.
I loathe cheats like him, Laura said. Let's bury him. Filings flew. Motions to vacate divorce. Fraud complaints to carriers. Every doc unearthed more lies. Jake's secret stashes funding his post-cancer glow-up while I starved. Inside, conflicts raged. Part of me mourned the man I'd loved. The vows we'd shared under starry skies. Was he always this monster? Or did sickness twist him? But evidence drowned pity. He chose deceit. The hearing loomed. 3 months post-knock. I prepped endlessly, replaying betrayals. Mom called daily. Proud of you. Fighting back. Her voice steadied me. But nights brought torment. What if we lose? What if his charm sways the judge again? Court day. I wore Sarah's lone blazer. Chin high despite churning guts. Jake strutted in. Suit crisp. But eyes darted guilty. Hayes blustered. But numbers don't lie. Judge Ramirez grilled. Mr. Harlan. Explain this account. Undisclosed. Jake stammered. It was personal savings. And reimbursements while your ex liquidated assets for your care? Silence. My testimony poured out, sacrifices detailed. Voice steady despite inner quake. I believed in us. He let me believe lies. Ruling came swift, settlement nullified. Business revalued with hidden funds. My share jumped to 65%.
Plus damage.
Half his secret pot, $65,000 total. Enough to breathe. Insurers pressed charges, fines. Probation loomed. Clients bolted, his rep tanked. That gym fling? Vanished like morning mist. Sarah and I celebrated over burritos, real food, laughter echoing.
We did it, she said. But inside.
Victory felt hollow. Justice. Yes. But scars remained. I paid Mom back. Splurged on her a spa day in Sedona. Leased a modest apartment with mountain views. Bought a used SUV.
Launched Grand Designs, solo.
Digital focus.
Client trickled.
Built on grit. Yet, pain lingered. Therapy sessions unpacked it. You trusted deeply. That's strength, not weakness. Reconnected with pals over hikes. Shared my tale haltingly. Trust rebuilt slow. Like monsoon rains filling dry arroyos. 1 year on. Lunch with Sarah. Can't believe that night, I said. Had to, she replied. Evil thrives in silence. Reflecting, I saw growth. The woman who'd given all wasn't broken. She'd risen. Fiercer. Jake's fate?
A conscionaritare.
But I released hate, forgiveness for me. Not him. Free now. To chase horizons unburdened. Freedom tasted bittersweet, like mesquite smoke on a cool evening breeze. With the settlement, I rebuilt brick by brick. But the emotional rubble? That took excavating. Nights in my new apartment, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, I'd wrestle demons. How did I miss the signs? The secretive glances. The withheld affection during recovery. Inside, self-doubt howled. You poured your soul into saving him, blind to his rot. Was love always this treacherous? Or just mine? Work anchored me. Grant designs grew, logos for local breweries, websites for dude ranches. Each project a victory. Proof I wasn't defined by loss. Mom visited. Her hugs fierce. You turned poison into power.
Eminência.
Her pride soothed, but guilt lingered. I dragged her through my hell. Never apologize for leaning on family, she'd counter. Still, my heart ached, wishing I'd shielded her better. Sarah became kin. Our bond forged in shared scars. Over coffee in a Tucson cafe, we'd dissect Jake's playbook. Gaslighting master, she'd say. Made us question our worth. Nodding, I'd confess inner turmoil. Part of me wonders if sickness broke him, or if he was always broken. She squeezed my hand. Doesn't excuse. We deserved truth. Then, a twist. Jake reached out. A letter. Forwarded via Laura. Edges creased like his conscience. Emily, I need to talk. Please. My pulse raced, rage surging.
Why now?
After the courts stripped his facade?
Inside.
Conflict boiled. Ignore him. Let him stew? Or confront? Foreclosure? Curiosity won. We met at a neutral park bench overlooking the Catalina foothills. Sun dipping low. He looked diminished, gaunt, eyes shadowed.
No squagger.
Thanks for coming, he muttered, avoiding my gaze. Make it quick, I said, arms crossed, heart pounding. Inside, don't soften. He doesn't deserve it. He exhaled.
I
screwed up. Everything. The cancer, it terrified me. I hid money thinking I'd need an escape if I didn't make it. Then, surviving, I panicked. Felt trapped by the debt. By us. Trapped. I snapped. Voice rising. I sold my world for you. Tears welled in his eyes. I know. Watched you suffer. Hated myself. But fear won. Pushed me to lie. To her. Thought a clean slate would erase the pain. Inside. Empathy flickered unwanted. Cancer's shadow loomed large. But betrayal's sting overpowered. You let me believe we were fighting together. Pawned my ring while you hoarded cash. He nodded. Broken. Unforgivable. The charges. Losing the shop, it's karma. But I see now, I destroyed the best thing in my life. Silence stretched. My mind whirled. Forgive?
No.
But understand? Maybe. Why tell me? Therapy, he admitted. Facing truths. You deserved better, honesty, gratitude. I'm sorry.
Eminência.
Truly. Apology hung heavy. Inside. Something shifted, not absolution, but release. Holding hate chained me too. I hear you, I said coolly. But sorry doesn't rebuild what you shattered. Learn from it. Be better. He nodded.
Defeated.
We parted, no hugs.
No promises.
Driving home, emotions crashed, relief at his remorse. But validation in my strength. He'd owned his wreckage, I owned my rise. That encounter humanized the monster, showed fear's destructive path. Lesson light but profound. Honesty heals, deceit devours. Shared with Sarah over wine, he apologized.
Felt.
Real. Her eyes widened. Closure. Sort of. Proves we're not the villains in his story. Life accelerated positively. Business boomed, hired a part-timer. Expanded to app designs. Dated tentatively, a kind rancher.
No ruse.
Trust bloomed slow. Roots deep in self-worth. Mom's cruise gift? She beamed photos from Alaska. Your comeback inspired me. Kiddo. Her joy mirrored mine, cycles of giving repaid. Reflecting on that motel night, gratitude swelled for Sarah's knock. It sparked justice. But Jake's contrition added humanity. Not all villains stay villains, some glimpse light.
But my journey?
From ashes to empowerment.
Inside.
Peace settled. I sacrificed for love. Survived betrayal. Emerged wiser. The desert teaches resilience, bloom after storms. Peace didn't come overnight. It seeped in like dawn over the Sonoran. Gradual and warming. Jake's apology lingered. A pivot point.
Inside.
I grappled. Does remorse redeem? No, but it humanized, softened edges of my rage. Therapy unpacked it. You can acknowledge his pain without excusing actions. Sessions became lifelines, dredging buried grief. I loved so fiercely, I'd admit. Tears flowing. Feared vulnerability meant weakness. But no, vulnerability forged my steel. Business thrived. A testament. Grant Designs landed a contract with a Phoenix startup, billboards across I-10. Hiring Sarah part-time? Full circle. Partners against jerks, she'd joke. Our laughs healed. Bonds unbreakable. Then, ripple effects, Jake's fallout. Probation mandated counseling. He volunteered at cancer support groups. Word trickled via mutuals. He shared his story anonymously. Warning of deceit's toll. Lost everything chasing illusions, he'd say. Inside me, bitter satisfaction. But also pity. Cancer scarred him too. Fear twisted choices. Lesson embedded. Empathy tempers justice. Mom's influence deepened. Over Sunday barbecues at her place. She'd probe. Forgiven him?
Y de punde.
Not fully. But I've forgiven myself for trusting, for sacrificing. Her nod. That's the real win.
Eminencia.
Self-forgiveness frees you.
Dating evolved, met Alex.
A quiet teacher with kind eyes.
No fireworks.
But steady warmth. First hike together. Overlooking red rocks. I opened up. Betrayal nearly broke me. He listened.
No judgment.
Sounds like you rebuilt stronger. Inside. Walls cracked. Maybe love again. Cautious, but real. One anniversary of the knock. I reflected alone on my balcony. Stars vast overhead. Mind wandered. From motel despair to this, home. Purpose. Connections. Jake's fraud exposed. But his remorse? A gentle close. Not reunion. But understanding we're all flawed. Capable of growth. Article in a local paper caught my eye. Anonymous survivor crediting a wake-up call for change. Sounded like him. Smile tugged. Redemption arcs exist. Quietly. Shared with Sarah. Think he's learning?
Hope so, she said.
We did. The deepest shift? Inner monologue softened, from self-blame to affirmation. You endured. Emily. That's power. No more questioning worth. I knew it bone deep. Years blurred positively. Business expanded regionally. Mentored young designers. Stressing integrity.
Unas tibuilt sampiras. Iribija.
Mom's health dipped, mild stroke, but my stability supported her rehab. Your strength saved us both, she whispered. Jake faded to memory, a chapter closed humanely. Heard he remarried. Started fresh humbly. No resentment. Wish him well.
Distantly.
Ultimate lesson. Light as a desert breeze. Sacrifice reveals character. Yours and theirs. Betrayal hurts, but rising teaches resilience. Love wisely. Forgive selectively. Thrive unapologetically.
Now.
Under western skies. I'm whole, not despite the storm, but because of it. Free. Finally.